Whilst everything is going on, I have actually got creative tools on, so all this is going to be going on even if I don't have the resources, just to speed things up for the video. Now we'll be placing an assembler down here, as I said, and we'll also be placing a refinery. But you could also do the survival kit first, which is a large grid survival kit. Yeah, so you could grind this down, and I'm pretty sure it'll cost more. If you would like the survival kit in your hotbar, click G. This is the G menu. This is where you can get all your items or blocks, put them there, and go ahead and place them down. This is very, very small. Next to everything else, it's pretty small. That's because there are two type of grids inside of Space Engineers. If you were to click that again, it'll become a lot bigger. This is large grid. What we're building now is large grid. But if we come over here, there's a small grid. See how when I put this up against the survival pod, it becomes much smaller. And if it was large grid, it'll be this big. Normally, it would not weld up as soon as you place it. As I said, I have creative tools on. If you have all of your components, move them over to your inventory. And when you do, you're ready to go. Now, I haven't got everything, just make sure you have everything. And if I did not mention before, production is up here. My game just warns me that my energy is low. As you can see on the bottom left, it says that my energy is low. That is also where your hydrogen, energy, oxygen, and health is. Now, go up to your survival kit, which is the block which is producing everything, and go up to the little computer next to it and hold F. This will recharge your energy. Energy will waste depending on how much power you are using. Now, there is always going to be some power being used in the background as your suit is trying to warm you up or cool you down at any time so you can actually live. If your energy does go off, it's not the end of the world if you're in a safe environment, but if you're in space, you'd end up dying. And you also won't be able to use any of your tools because they only work if you have energy. And that's why using tools also wastes a lot of energy. Now, when your assembler is done, it'll look somewhat like this. Let me just pull it up. Like I said, G menu is very useful to get all your blocks. Now, if you were to delete something, you'd have to pull out the grinder and grind it down. But get your assembler, and if I did say to face the port towards you, but I think it may be a little better if you tilt it one to the right. So when it's all welded up, it'll look something like this. If you want to weld it up, just pull out your welder and start welding. You have to make sure that you have all the materials, and that's why the beginning of the game is very hard since you have to mine a lot, and you also don't have the best drill. Yes, there are better types of drills. If I were to go to the G menu and go to character tools, as you can see, there are better type of drills, grinders, and welders. Now, your refinery actually has two ports, one on the front and one at the back. We're going to face one of them towards the assembler, like this. This means that they are now connected and you can access the assembler from this side. It may sound confusing, but I promise you, you'll get used to it. Basically, if something is connected up, you can access it from the port. If this was a different orientation, you would have to access this, come over to your assembler and put it inside, which is not what you want. This will do it all automatically for you and save you a lot of time. You're definitely gonna want to use a survival kit. Really, you should have done that first, but no worries, it's not too late. If you go to your G menu and search up survival kit, it'll look something like this. This is large grid, this is small grid. Like I said before, just put your survival kit not there because we're going to be putting a cargo container there. What you're going to want to do is place 2 blocks there. I'm going to turn off creative tools just so it matches. Alright, I have turned creative tools back on so I can place it down straight away. The survival kit does not need to be connected to anything. Nothing will start to work though. Only something would work if you have a wind turbine. If you've realized that stone is not refining, or the assembler is not working, that is because there is no power. If these things start showing up, they are not enemies, you don't need to be scared of them. Actually, they are just little pods which come down, and if you go up to them, they can give you a skin for your character or tools. Now, there are many types of power. If we were to look for power, there are reactors. There's a small reactor and a large reactor. There is also a hydrogen engine, which is another way, but we do not have enough ice for that yet. Reactors actually take fuel that is called uranium. Uranium can only be found up in space, and we do not have the resources to go up there. There is also wind turbines, which we will be using, so make sure you put that up on your hotbar. They might actually already be there. There are also solar panels. Solar panels are very expensive, and you should not use them for the beginning of your game. They also do not give you anywhere near as much power. So leave those out for now. You may want to add a few of those in the future. Now what you're going to want to do is place some blocks going all the way up. That's because the higher up your wind turbine is, the better it will work. Now I have creative tools on, like I said, so armor blocks will look different. This is how they look welded up fully, as I'll show you here. As you can see, the armor block is welded up. Now, the higher up you go, the better it will be. But if you put it too high, as in pretty high up, you'd start to lose oxygen and that. You'd start to lose oxygen and that, and it wouldn't be nowhere near as good. Now, about this height is great for now. You can always do it a little bit higher if you really wanted to. Just make sure it's off the ground, place your wind turbine, and they will automatically start producing power.